You guys are good to go.
Okay. All right. Hi, Alexa. It's nice to meet you. I'm Steph.
Hi, you. It's nice to meet you.
So where am I chatting with you at?
I am in my apartment in Richmond, Virginia. That is the, I don't know what that is, to be honest. It's like a tower. It's like some weird tower, but I don't think anyone can actually get up there.
Nice. Are you dealing with the cicadas? Are they near you?
Oh my God, no. I saw a video went like right before these interviews started of Joe Biden getting attacked by a cicada. And I was like, oh, no, we're not doing that.
I'm in DC and I'm dealing with them, but we don't have to bond over it. They're terrible. You're not
they like come like to different states. Is it just like, is it East Coast? This thing?
It's where are we? East, yeah, it's the East Coast thing, but it's like only a certain part of it. So we have about 2 more weeks. You can watch it, the horror from away.
Oh, I don't want to meet them. I'm good.
Yeah, that's real horror, unlike the fake zombies. But I'd love to talk about Walking Dead. So that was so exciting to watch you on there. I heard an interview that when the first season came out, you were 11. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was 11. And I was a horror fiend.
Really?
Yeah.
So how was it going from that little girl who watched it to being in front of these terrifying beasts? Was it surreal?
I think surreal is an understatement to how I was actually going to say surreal. And I was like, you know what? It was insane. It was crazy. I mean, it didn't really hit me for a really long time. I think until the show actually came out was when I was like, okay, this is actually happening. Yeah, it's insane.
And are you facing like the combat and stuff and the ooey gooey things? Is that happening when the camera's on, or are you doing any of that before?
No, so the ooey gooey stuff happens when the camera's rolling, just because it's so hard to like get the prosthetics and all that kind of stuff to work. It just takes so much time. But there's like stunt training beforehand and whatnot, which is always fun. But the ooey gooey stuff is.
Do you ever catch yourself like, I can't right now? Or
that was me on set yesterday. I was
really?
shooting season 2 right now, and there was a scene that I was like, I looked down and I found all this blood on me, and I was like, oh no. I turned around, I was like, no, we're not doing this right now.
And is there a smell to it? I mean, what is this particular blood?
No, so it depends. Some blood is like pig, they call it pig's blood, which is like fake blood. Hershey's chocolate syrup, which is really weird, with like food dye. So that's the one that you put on your face. So if you lick it, you're eating chocolate syrup. So something like that. But then there's like other ones that it's really thick and sticky, and anything you touch, you're just glued to it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that all of that stuff is interesting, but you do have a lot of very emotional scenes. And I saw you post on Instagram, you're crying, like, am I ever not gonna have to cry? But I'm wondering, have you always had that innate ability to cry, or where does that come from?
I think season 1, it came from, I had just gone through a breakup, and I channeled that breakup for every crying scene that I had.
Nice.
And it was amazing. It was like season 1 like got me to get over that whole thing, and now season 2 over the breakup, so
you're like, money in the bank, I'm happy.
I'm like going through old photos. I'm like, man, this was a sad moment. Can you just stop crying right now?
I cared. I think I cared.
Yeah, it's thinking about stuff. Everybody has things that they've gone through, and if you think hard enough, you'll find a reason to cry.
Yeah. And personally, do you prefer the emotional scenes, or do you like the action shots more?
Emotional scenes, 100%. I love those kinds of scenes. I love like being able to be in tune with those kinds of emotions. The action scenes are fun, but the emotional scenes I feel like are a lot more challenging, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah. Have you ever had an encounter where you're in the middle of a fight and anyone actually gets hurt?
No.
That's good.
No one's shown any pain. I mean, I've had moments where I'm like season 1 where we had that scene with the two-headed empty, or like the bodies that were the conjoined. I don't know how to say it. The two ends in the tire area, whatever it was called. Excuse me. I hurt myself, but I wasn't like crying or doing anything about it. I just remember like hurting my leg pretty bad. Then I messed up my ankle in another running scene, but it happens, you know, you just kind of get over it.
Power on.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of running, I personally have recurring dreams of zombies. Are you able to get out of filming without having nightmares?
No.
Really?
So I would say like 80% of my dreams, I'm in a post-apocalyptic world. I had a dream
Really?
last night with my mom in it. And for some reason, my mom in the dream, she's always in it and she never believed me. And I'm like, Mom, I need to leave. Like, there's zombies. And she's like, dude, no, it's fine. I'm like, no, it's not. We need to go. It's every single dream like that. It's the show sticks with you. It's
Wow.
yeah.
And are you like vividly seeing the same things on set in your dreams, or is it different version?
It's different kinds of things, you know, like it's always like end of the world kind of stuff, whether it's a zombie or just like someone that's after me or something. It's always similar, but never,
Yeah.
I don't think I've had like the exact same dream.
And how many hours a day are you filming?
Last season it was 12 plus,
Wow.
depending on how many scenes you had. If you were in every scene, you were going to be there for like 14 hours with hair and makeup. This season, there's new regulations, so you can't shoot more than 10 hours. So if I'm in every scene, my day's about 12 hours because, you know, hair and makeup takes a little bit in driving time. But I would say minimum like 5 hours.
Yeah. And how do you wind down after that long day?
A hot bath with bubbles in it, salt, the Epsom salt, and hot chocolate.
Nice. Without the blood.
Not the blood. No, we're not doing any of that stuff.
Well, and speaking of hot chocolate and snacks, okay, so the zombies are here. What snacks are you hoarding?
Peanut butter.
Really?
Yep. I have to stay away from it because I can eat a whole jar at a time. But it's the perfect food. It's got protein, fat. It's not really many carbs, but I could eat peanut butter for the rest of my life.
Sensible.
So, yeah. Peanut butter and Jolly Ranchers, I think, and French fries would be
Yeah, go for it. So I know that you're a Latina and Egyptian. So sticking with the food trends, what's your favorite comfort food?
My favorite comfort food, if it was gonna be something Mexican for my mom's side, I would say chile relleno. And then on my dad's side, he used to make this stew with like eggplant and beef. I don't eat meat anymore, but I love eggplant, so it would probably be that eggplant stew, just because it's so warm and comforting. But when neither of my parents are cooking for me, it's gonna be truffle fries.
Oh, nice. That's always a good one. So what made you switch from eating meat? Was that a recent decision or?
I stopped eating meat when I was about 15, and it was just like, I was working with a trainer and she was just helping me. She's like, no, we're gonna cut out meat, just eat fish. And I really liked it. I felt a lot better. But recently I've gone back to like eating turkey. So I think that's the only meat that I eat right now. But I prefer a vegan diet, but I don't think it doesn't work very well with me.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I always try for the animals and then I'm like, I need a nap.
Yeah.
The energy's gone. So I'd love to know, so speaking about you as a Latina, as an actress, what dreams do you have for yourself in the future?
I really want to do something that just kind of changed. What was the movie? It was Titanic. Titanic was a movie that really made me realize how much I wanted to act. Just because it was like I saw it and I laughed at it, I cried at it, I got mad at it, and I was like, I want to do something where you watch it and it's like, oh man, I'm feeling every single emotion in my body right now. And it's just evoking all these emotions. And I think to be able to touch people like that is something really incredible. So to do something like maybe not a ship sinking, because I'm terrified of something along those lines.
Yeah. Well, and you put out an album, right? So you're into the singing. Are you gonna lean more towards singing or equally acting?
I initially got into acting to get myself known to release music. And then I realized I was like, oh man, I really like this. Oh, man, I don't have any time for music anymore, but I really like acting. I think for the time being, my focus is acting. And I still do music when I get the time. Like that EP was recorded when quarantine hit, when everyone was on lockdown. So yeah, I would definitely go back to it if I had the time, but right now it's a little too hard to juggle both.
Yeah. And I want to actually go back. I thought of another question, but I know that you've been to a couple of Comic Cons, but I'm curious, what do fans want to know most about the show?
Where Rick is. That is like, that is the endless question, is where's Rick? And we're like, I don't know.
You're like, what about me though? My acting or
Hope's here. Iris is here. You want Rick? Rick dipped. He's out. No, I mean, that's definitely like the most common question that we get. Which is it's fine. I want to know where Rick is too. No one tells me.
So can fans look forward to having any questions filled in season 2?
Oh, yeah. So no, I mean, like, not even exaggerating. Season 2 is insane.
Right.
We've got some characters in there that fans are probably gonna recognize, and it's been a trip, like going to work with these people that I would watch, and I'm like we're like you're sitting next to me. We're co-stars right now. It's insane. They're gonna have a lot of questions answered, and they're also gonna be asking themselves a lot more questions, just considering where the storyline goes.
Yeah. Well, and without giving away who you're sitting next to, can you tell me what it feels like to sit next to those people? Like when you're in that moment looking around, like I'm really at the same level with them.
Yeah, it's a tough but amazing pill to swallow. You know, it's like you're sitting there and you're like, wow, I worked really hard and it's actually paying off. I mean, there's nothing more motivating than seeing everything that you're working for actually happen. So it's a very satisfying feeling.
Yeah. And have you got any advice from any co-stars?
I have. I think Nico has been a very influential person in my life. They have guided me in so many different ways. And anytime that I have a question, they're always there to answer it and just give me advice that they probably didn't have when they were getting started and stuff. I mean, even with like interviews and press and like how to act on set and how to be around other people, they've helped me a lot, and I'm extremely grateful for Nico. And
I love Nico.
Yeah,
I love Nico and their partner and everything they stand for. And
oh yeah, they're incredible, and their partner's amazing too.
Yeah. Okay, so last question. Do you have advice for Latina creators who want to follow in your footsteps?
Yes, I would say keep going. I'm going to sound very cheesy with what I'm about to say, but don't stop and do not listen to anyone that is telling you can't do it, because if you don't believe in yourself, then you're not going to get anywhere. As long as you believe in yourself and you know that you can do it, it's going to come. You just keep working hard at it, and I promise you whatever you want is going to happen.
Well, I love that, and I look forward to seeing what's next for you. It was so great talking to you today, Alexa.
Thank you too.
Have a great afternoon.
Thank you too.
Bye.